Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the I-16 Type 18 sitting at 2.0 battle rating in realistic battle. A Soviet favorite of mine, a real plane guaranteeing shenanigans. I already reviewed some of the later types, the Type 27 and the Type 28, and it's time to also review some of the earlier ones. And today I'm flying out the Type 18, fantastic little plane. Not very fast though. The maximum speed at sea level without WEP is 421 kilometers an hour and 449 with WEP. At 4500 meters this is 376 kilometers an hour without WEP and 379 with WEP. And finally at 6500 meters she'll go up to 316 kilometers an hour without WEP and 320 with WEP. As you see, the WEP only really works below 3000 meters, at 4500 meters and at 6500 meters. The WEP is really not working very well anymore. Doesn't give you any advantages anymore, so you want to keep this plane between, well, let's say below 4000 meters for sure, but it's best below 3000 meters. The top speed in a dive is 664 kilometers an hour before it redlines and 717 before it rips apart. Well, it's not super bad, but it's not comparable to some of the best contenders like that E1 that raked me there. Fantastic plane, the E1, very good in the boom and zoom roll. This plane of course can't compete in that, but this thing is a little monster when it comes to turn fighting. The control stiffening in this plane is also not too bad, with the control stiffening starting slightly at 450 and then becoming slightly more severe at 550, but not really becoming terribly bad at any point. The elevator also stays reasonably functional up until 550, 600 kilometers an hour. And even at the red line you can reasonably pull out of a dive if you don't keep it too long. The stall speed in the plane is quite good, with 115 kilometers an hour before it stalls out. Firepower is good in the plane with 4 7.62mm SCUS machine guns. The two guns in the wings have 900 rounds per gun, and the two in the nose have 650 rounds per gun. For the rest, this plane can be equipped with a variation of either bombs or rockets. You can equip two 50 kilogram bombs or 200 kilogram bombs, and you can also choose for 6 rockets in 2 different variations. So there is that, pretty good. The ammo load on the plane is great in my opinion. You can take a very long time with those machine gun rounds. Now the performance is nothing terribly good, but also nothing bad. The acceleration in a straight line is average, and in a dive it's actually good. The energy retention in the horizontal is below average, and in the vertical it's average. This definitely is not an energy fighter and absolutely not a boom and zoomer. This plane is a pure turn fighter in my eyes, which does guarantee you a lot of fun. The climb rate in the plane is also average, nothing to write home about. You definitely have to do some side climbing in the plane. The German BF-109 for example easily outclimb you, and you will be hard pressed to outclimb the Heinkel 112s, who are also average in climb rate. The turn time in this plane is very good, great with flaps. The flaps though do already rip off at 290 kilometers an hour, which is quite fast, but they are very usable before that, and they make the plane perform even better at low speeds. The plane has excellent handling at low speeds, doesn't become sluggish at all, actually the opposite. The plane stays very maneuverable at speeds below 250 even, and the flaps help with that. So great maneuverability when slow. This is excellent in dogfights. Once you see the enemy planes get slower, this plane stays very functional, and you can eventually get them even if the other planes are also decently good at turn fighting. Now the roll rate in the plane is also very good, it's great even, and the overall maneuverability I would call great as well. The overheating is present but manageable. You do overheat with extensive WEP usage, but Yeah, here we get raked again by the E1. Of course, thank God that thing also only has machine guns, but man. Uh, About the durability, by the way, this plane has good durability. It's a sturdy little bugger, and it can definitely take a hit or two without immediately succumbing to death. Especially machine gun rounds, this plane can take quite a bit of punishment, and that is a good thing to know. The one thing that is very vulnerable is the pilot, who is in an open cockpit and quite visible from multiple directions. So there is always a risk of an easy pilot snipe in this plane, but if you can prevent that and you get hits on other places, you are definitely in for not dying immediately, say, unless you get hit in something fight. Which is always the case. Sometimes you just die, right? But anyway, it's a sturdy little plane, and it's a maneuverable little plane, and it's an absolute joy to fly in my eyes. There's not much variation in this plane. It's quite a one-dimensional plane. It's not fast, it's not fantastic in a dive, it is not good at energy fighting. So the only thing this plane can do is lure enemies in, and then outmaneuver them and get your guns on target and kill them. And that can actually be a lot of fun if you like to be defensive flying and you like to improve as a pilot. This plane definitely guarantees you some opportunities to improve yourself when it comes to situational awareness and actual maneuvering. And also shots like this, when the plane that shot you tries to get away. We do get a hit there, and I spoke to that guy after the match, and I actually hit his pilot there, making it yellow. Of course, with machine guns, if only one round hits the target, then with machine guns, even the 7 point question mark, the 7 point X machine guns, they usually with one round don't kill the pilot. So this probably happened this time, unfortunately for me. Not a headshot. But this was a level 100 pilot as well, and a very good pilot with some very good stats on him. And it was a good fight. We had a lot of fun in this confrontation with him using, here by the way, my terrible Apple player updater came up. And I tried to get back into the game as soon as possible, especially with this guy above me. But you know, that completely interrupted the game and brought me out of the game, and I was just completely surprised with it, so focused was I. I left it in, I didn't edit it out, just to show you that it was a cursing moment. I was so fucking frustrated with that moment. And but anyway, we survived. We took another rake from that E1. But we're still alive. Although our engine is now damaged. We get another hit on him. And he is going into the vertical, and he's coming in for another pass. This is our chance. We are not good with the lead there. Another hit. We got 3 or 4 hits now on the guy. And unfortunately no cigar, but that was frustrating. I immediately, that was a QuickTime updater, I think it was, from Apple. I removed it immediately after this match, you may imagine. First place in the team though, with 4 kills and 1 ground target. Not too bad at all. We got no special rewards, 14,000 silver lions and 2,000 research points. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the I-16 Type 18 is definitely a plane you want to visit while you go through the Russian tree. This plane is a tough little bugger with fantastic maneuverability, and it's a joy to fly. It's excellent handling at low speeds, guarantees you that you eventually outmaneuver most planes, except for the most dedicated turn fighters of the Japanese tree. But bar those, you can outmaneuver most enemy fighters, especially once you get them low, because this plane stays on its performance level when with low speed. And many other planes lose maneuverability as they become slower and slower. But yeah, no, I really thoroughly enjoyed this thing. The armament is quite good. You can have some variation in the plane, some versatility with bomb load options and rocket options. And yeah, it's an all-round fantastic little plane that you can have a lot of fun in. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.